Here's a couple of problems. Right now, things are speeding up. So AI is not actually a strategy, it's actually an accelerant. So if you've currently got a good offer, if you've currently got a good marketing message, if you're currently getting some levels of success with getting people enrolled, using lead magnets, either they're coming to your webinar, they're coming to your seminar, they're downloading your stuff, AI is an amazing accelerant for you. Hey there, expert. Rana Saini here. See, the wealthiest business coaches and consultants see business success as the system. This podcast, The Expert Advantage, contains real-world, in-the-trenches business advice that our clients use to gain a strategic advantage in growing their million-dollar expert business. It's my hope that you use these short lessons and insights to gain your strategic advantage in growing your expert business, and maybe one day soon partner with us at The Expert Project to take your expert coaching and consulting business to $1 million and beyond. I hope you share and enjoy. Guys, listen, it's no secret that ChatGPT and all of these tools are taking over the planet. We totally get it. There's a couple of risks to it, as we know. Let me give you a little bit of a brief on why I think ChatGPT is fantastic and why it's a risk for you in your coaching business or consulting business. Is because in the past, there's been like a hierarchy of what I call intellectual property creation. So if we look up a ladder, the first thing that you want to look at with AI is to understand where the true value of AI is. Now, at the start, when we first started to look at getting information out into the marketplace, we could produce info, but we would have to write it, we would have to create it, we would have to film it, we would have to script it, and we would have to put everything together. And then what we'd have to do is present it, right? We would present it. And then once we presented it, we would promote it. And then once we promoted it, we would look at how do we follow it up, and then how do we leverage it. In the world of AI, when we look at this, we can be people who are practitioners, then we go to thought leaders, then we go to thought leaders, we go to experts, and we go to authorities. And what's the real difference between them? A practitioner is someone who consumes. A thought leader is someone who curates. Someone who takes another person's thought and shares their own thoughts on someone else's thoughts is a curator. Then we look at a creator, which is an expert, someone who creates IP. And then finally, it's somebody who can actually take all of these three things and change the paradigm of what's going on in the marketplace and rebuild on it. See, what a lot of people are doing is focusing on this part with ChatGPT. But where people are going to get exposed is as we move up the levels, being able to reproduce and replicate IP and information is not a problem. But the true experts and authorities in the space, it's not so much the creation of information and the proliferation of information, it's more the use and the application and the implementation that's going to separate the marketplace really soon. So it's my hope that each and every one of you watching this today understand that when we're talking about AI lead builders and using AI to build these things, there is a huge advantage for you as long as you are an actual thought leader and you're not just replicating stuff for the sake of getting views. Now, let's quickly dive in. Here's a couple of problems. Right now, things are speeding up. So AI is not actually a strategy, it's actually an accelerant. So if you've currently got a good offer, if you've currently got a good marketing message, if you're currently getting some levels of success with getting people enrolled, using lead magnets, either they're coming to your webinar, they're coming to your seminar, they're downloading your stuff, AI is an amazing accelerant for you. If, however, you haven't got that, then AI is not the strategy you need. You need the strategy first, and then we put AI into place to give it some legs and make it go further. So let's dive in. First thing when we talk about lead magnets is this thing called the desirability matrix. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but right now, each and every one of you have a thing called passive IP. And passive IP are frameworks, scripts, systems, tools, strategies that you would share with clients that right now you're probably not using, right? If you don't have a client or you don't have enough clients, a lot of your IP sits somewhere else that doesn't get used. And we want to figure out how can we maximize them to generate more interest and more leads. So let me walk you through that. There are 4 quadrants of lead magnets, and I want to get clear because some of you might have lead magnets in the wrong quadrant, which won't give you the outcome that you want. The first thing is what we call crap, right? Where it's easy to consume, but it's very low desire. Now, what does crap look like? Right now, unless it's something that has utility, it's actually things like an ebook or things like a white paper. All of these things over time have been mass produced, and we simply don't have the time to want to read the whole thing. So whilst people think there's a high level of desire for these things, there isn't. No one wakes up wanting to download an ebook. Although they're easy to consume, they're not things that people want. So the next step that we look at is what we call a trap. And you see a lot of coaches and consultants say, oh, my lead magnet is a strategy session. My lead magnet is a strategy session. Now, unless you can show why someone should spend time with you, which means you want to lower the risk, because everyone knows what strategy session is code for in this marketplace. Strategy session is sales call, right? So when someone says to you, book a strategy call, everyone knows it's code for sale. It's code for sale. The goal, however, is we need to look at how do we reduce the risk associated with it and how do we increase the reward associated with it, so someone who wants to spend time with you understands the value of why they should be on that call and the benefit to them. The problem is it's not really a high desire. No one wants to have a strategy session with someone who they haven't known or they don't know or they don't see value in, and so therefore it presents a real problem to us. The second thing, it's very hard to consume. Okay. Finally, it's what we call a gap, where it's hard to consume, but there is a high desire for it. So what does that look like? Great question. What it looks like is a webinar, right? What it looks like is a training, much like this one. What it looks like is Q&A session, or potentially a 5-day challenge. Now, is it hard to consume? Of course it is, because you've got to spend time. Is it a high desire? Yes, because it's usually implementation-based training, where I can show you how to use something to get a practical, tactical outcome for it, which means that it helps you achieve something by the end of the training, much like this one. The last thing is what we call a snap. And a snap is the best kind of lead magnet. So let me share with you what they are. It's a PDF, not an ebook, that has a step-by-step outcome that you can use and implement to get an outcome today. What could that be? It could be a cheat sheet. It could be a checklist. It could be a diagnostic. So it's something that gives you an insight, an action, or a small outcome. So what I'd like you to do is think about right now, where's something that you have that is IP that you're doing nothing with, that if I was to use it, I'd actually get an outcome. I'd get an outcome in terms of that I would be able to maybe potentially generate a lead. I'd be able to save some time. I'd be able to present better, look better, whatever it is. Where does that look like for you? What's that piece of IP for you? And what we want to do then is unpack it. Now, the problem with a lot of lead magnets is when we unpack it, we don't actually understand the value of how to do it. And so this is where AI can come in handy. By the way, if you want copies of these worksheets, all you need to do is comment worksheet below, and I will make sure that we give you a copy of the worksheet. First thing is, if you look at your IP, for example, what I'm sharing you right now could be a lead magnet, funnily enough. So it's like the title would be the lead magnet builder. We want to make sure that we give it utility. And utility is like a tool. If I said to you, oh, do you want to put together that IKEA flat pack? You're going to need a screwdriver. It's got utility. In the same way that if I said to you, do you want to build a lead magnet? And you go, yeah, I do. And you go, you've got to use the lead magnet builder. So think about something that your clients would want to do or want to work with, and how your tool or your framework or your system can be named so it's named very similar to the thing that they need. I need to put this screw in. You should use a screwdriver. I need to generate this lead. You should use this lead builder. I need to get more sales. You should use this sales accelerator. Whatever it is, give it utility so that people can understand without the marketing fluff what it is and how it works. Who will it help? Who's your audience? The clearer you are with the audience, the more engagement you get. The more general, the less engagement. So you're going to have to work harder because you're trying to cover a larger space of people, which is the problem with people who don't niche, right? We think that more people equals more opportunity. Incorrect. So what we want to do is make sure your audience is crystal clear. We work with business coaches and business consultants, and the format is really, what is the format of your IP? Remember, the format is something that should be easy to consume and high desire. High desire is something that someone can implement that gets them a short-term outcome. And easy to consume means they should be able to read it, watch it, download it, consume it in less than 3 minutes. Okay? Hey there, expert. So listen, our mission here at the Expert Project is to positively impact the world of other business coaches and consultants just like you. We want to help them make more impact, have more income, and have a positive influence on the world. And see, the only way we can do that is if you've heard something in today's episode that moved you, created an insight, changed your perspective, or gave you an aha moment. All I'd ask you to do is take 10 seconds, rate and review this podcast so together we can help spread the word about this podcast and have a positive influence in someone else's world. A VSL, for those of you who aren't up with the marketing lingo, is a really good way to do this as well, because it takes the best bits of a webinar and puts it in front of people quicker and faster. Okay, so the format is, we might say it's written or it's video, it doesn't really matter. And then what we want to do is get clear on the problems that it's trying to solve. So for example, if I use this lead magnet builder, is no leads, lumpy opportunity, poor marketing message. Problem is, the biggest fear people have is they won't have enough opportunity. That's the biggest fear. I won't have enough opportunity. And then we look at what their desires are, and it's usually the opposite. You want consistent leads. You want consistent opportunity, and you want confident marketing because you want to increase opportunity every week. An example, you'd sell a story about why this IP is important. And the story for me would be, the reason why this is important is because if you use this, if you're someone who's struggling to generate leads, you might want to use this tool along with the prompts that I'm about to give you, right, to make sure that you can build these faster. Now, the steps is, what are the steps in order to create the thing that people want? So step 1 is you need a title. Step 2 is you need to know who the audience is for. Step 3, you need to give them a step-by-step walkthrough. Step 4, so what you want to do is, the steps are what you need to do, like a recipe, in order to get the outcome that you want. So in our world, having a system to create lead magnets means that other people can create them. It's not just all in our head. So now you have a system. The next step is obviously to maybe draw it. So drawing it brings it to life. So the first thing that you want to do is draw it. So how can I draw a lead magnet builder? I could do it like this. This is the model. So at the moment, we want to turn leads into opportunities, into sales. And today, the best way to do that is give, ask, show. Or actually, we could probably flip that. And you go give, show, ask. So it's basically, I'm going to give you this lead magnet. I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to ask you if you'd like to continue working with me, right? Then we prescribe. Here are the things that you need to do with the lead magnet to make it work. And the next step should also be a CTA. CTA is a call to action, right? And a call to action means it's something that someone does after they've watched your session or got your lead magnet. So for us, our CTAs, if you want a copy of the worksheet, just comment worksheet, and we'll make sure you get that. And then finally, if you haven't already, you want to click to join our 5-day challenge. Our 5-day challenge is looks a little bit something like this. And effectively, it's our challenge that we work with you live for 5 days to help you build out your expert offer to generate more leads and opportunities and help you attract better quality of client. So if you're interested, register for that. It's free. What have you got to lose except for the opportunity that you are missing out on by not having an offer that people want, right? So that's the thing. So for me, you want to click to join it. The bottom one works, and it looks a little something like this. There we go. Join the 5-day challenge. It's free. Go for gold. Would love to have you there. Now, that's how we do our CTA. Now, let's build this out. What does SAGE mean, by the way? These are the principles to know whether you've got a really good lead magnet or not. Is it simple? Is it actionable? Is it goal specific? And is it easy to implement? That's key. If you've got those things, you've got a really good lead magnet, right? Simple, yep, it's only taken me 10 minutes so far to explain it. Actionable, you could use this to design a lead magnet today. Goal specific, to generate leads. It's very clear to generate a next lead. You could send out an email with this. Easy to implement, yep, because I'm going to give you the AI tools to do it. These are the prompts that we use. And these prompts are something that you can get if you want the worksheet. Just comment worksheet and we'll give it to you. And basically, here's how it works. For those of you, by the way, I played around with this. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but with DALL-E, which is ChatGPT's company, like obviously it's part of ChatGPT, I just set a hyper-realistic book cover sitting on a classy boardroom table. Now, if I'm going to give you a specific file, because I'm going to give you an ebook creator or a lead magnet creator, then I'm putting in the setting I want. And now you can actually mock these up. How cool are they? AI created it. So if I said I could say this, right? A hyper-realistic secret file containing a white piece of paper sitting on sitting in an open briefcase, right? Let's see what comes up. And this is just like, if you're not design, I don't know how to design stuff, but you don't just use this. So we'll see how it works. This could suck, but hey, there we go. Obviously, it doesn't know how to type yet, but we could our graphics team could actually go over the top of this and we could put the secret here, right? And design this up. And that's our lead magnet image for if we put it out to our audience. We could say, click here, and we could just click here, and that's our Facebook image or that's our email image. But it just shows you I did that in 2 seconds. And so how cool is that? You might say, what about if I wanted, you could say a hyper-realistic file, a hyper-realistic book being held by Spider-Man on top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Right, let's have a look. Again, I'm just showing you these as an example so you can see what's possible and why you need to use this stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. Check this out. Let's see what comes up. All right, there you go. Not quite Spider-Man, but it's a spider. There's Sydney Harbour Bridge on a book. That's pretty funny. Anyway, I'm digressing and nerding out. ChatGPT, most of you should have ChatGPT 4. That's fine. It's not a big deal. For me, I'm not too, again, ChatGPT is not the strategy. It's an accelerant. We go back to our book. There is some chat prompts here. If you want those prompts, just ask for the workbook and we'll give you a copy of the workbook. And I'm just going to take the prompts that we've got. So if I take these prompts, here we go. I'll just copy and paste it into here. So it's going to ask me questions and so it's going to ask me what the main focus of my coaching business is and etc., which is great because now it's helping me. And now if I go, here are the things that you need to know, something I prepared earlier. Great. So I go like this. So it's now starting to write my lead magnet out, right? Which is cool. The next step is, while it's doing that, I'm just going to load up my thing. Based on your output, can you expand each section of the template? Great. Still going. So I was telling you. Great. So it's going to go through each section in more detail now. So I'm actually now building out this lead magnet that I could give to you guys as an absolute completed version of itself. And you can do this the same. I've given you the prompt. Create a funnel for this lead magnet. Great. Let's do it. It's helping me do it, right? Perfect. Thank you. Create a funnel for this lead magnet. This is going to take a little while, I would assume. So it's given me a brief. I could give this now to my team, step by step. We could do it. Paid marketing, headline engaging. Great. Now I could ask it for its help. So I'm giving you an example of how, like, I'm doing this in literally minutes, but the prompts really help because, like, with AI, it's not so much the output will be determined by the input. So the output will be determined by the input. And what it's doing is it's just the more information I can give, and I'm doing this fast. I would normally spend a bit more time with it, but it's producing now at a very high level. But I could actually give more information about my business and it could actually achieve a lot more. So here are 5 headlines. Unlock lead generation mastery with AI. So it's given me my headlines, write an email sequence that this lead magnet, right? So if you're not a great writer, it's just really good to use it as a sounding board. So it's not bad, right? And for those of you who have seen it, again, these are just prompts that you guys can borrow and use. Let me know if they've been helpful in the comments, and we'll give you a copy of this worksheet. Now, it's my goal, just to quickly recap, remember, a lead magnet should be a snap. It should be highly desired. So a framework, a tool, a system, or a piece of IP that's easy to consume and highly desirable, that's actionable. So when we talk about, is it sage, is it simple, is it actionable, is it goal specific, and is it easy to implement? Now, I've given you everything that you need to create the infrastructure for your own lead magnet, and as an example, and the prompts. Guys, look, that today is a really quick run through and a little preview of some of the things that we're doing as the Expert Project to help experts just like you generate some more leads, make more sales, and create offers that are more compelling for their audience, which is where everything starts and finishes. If you've got a great offer and you're clear on your audience, you've got opportunity for days. If you haven't already, make sure you jump in. At the end of our worksheet, there is a call to action, which is really just how do we, it's our 5-day challenge. I'd love to work with you for free for 5 days. And the goal there is to help you understand what's possible when you have the right structure around building out an offer that is going to help you be more actionable, more clear, more goal specific, and enable your audience to say, I need that, I want that, and therefore generate more opportunities for your business. Again, if you have any questions or you've enjoyed today's session, please let me know or comment below if you're here inside the boardroom group. I'd love to hear from you guys. You guys take care, keep on winning, and I'll talk to you at some stage, hopefully in the 5-day challenge. Guys, take care and bye for now.